Hello, Adam. How are you? Nice to talk to you and see you again. How is the tour going with Venom Inc. and Ater?
Hello, hi Carla. Nice to meet you again. The tour has been great. We're coming to an end of the tour. It's four more shows, and today we are in Quantic, Bucharest, and it's the first tour in which we have the occasion to actually play new songs from the album that has been released just a few days ago via Metal Blade Records, and it's our new album Bellum Regiis. So this is the first tour in support of this new record.
Exactly as you said, Venom Regiis. First of all, congrats for the album. I really like
Thank
it.
you.
I know it wouldn't be a disappointment. So this album has Greek mythology elements, right?
Mm.
So can you elaborate on this? Why did you choose this theme?
Well, generally, stories from mythologies are very inspiring, and I use them a lot on different albums and for different lyrics throughout the history of the band, basically, since the almost very beginning, because mythologies have this universal message, have some universal message about us as humans, depicting some, I would say, dramas that we face, hard choices. They can be used universally, and that's what I'm looking at when I choose some topics for particular songs. And this time the album's name Bellum Regiis basically means War of the Kings, or War of Kings, War of Royals. You can translate it in a few different ways, but the main theming is about war, conflict, and lust for power.
Exactly.
Basically, and everything that goes with it, So in this case, the story that you mentioned, I think, for the song Iphigenia is also has this, let's say, war background, because it is all about Trojan War, and Iphigenia is the eldest daughter of King Agamemnon, and she is going to be sacrificed for some, let's say, for war effort, actually, for war purpose, because it is all about rivalry and competition and war at that time. And the story it's striking, because Iphigenia herself, she has at one point she has a choice. She can be saved, or she can sacrifice herself for the higher cause, let's say, which is the war that her father is waging, the Trojan War. And this dramatic twist is when she actually makes a decision to be put to death, for this higher cause. It's a very dramatic moment. And what I am talking about in the song Iphigenia is this, I would say, is the final hours of Iphigenia. There's this hard choice and what comes with it, and this was the most interesting part that we actually filmed. We made a video for the song, which is available on streaming platforms and on YouTube mainly, and it's the first single that is promoting the album. And then they came other singles like Bellum Regiis and The Vanguard, and The Vanguard on the day of the release, actually, which was 2nd of May, and here we are right now on this tour, supporting the record. It's the first tour. It's the just first shows in company of Venom Inc. and Kisiun from Brazil, and Ater from Chile. And as I said, it's been a great tour, and we have four shows more, and we're coming home soon. Yeah.
Yeah. So as you spoke about Iphigenia, so basically about Greek mythology, I find it interesting that on the previous albums you chose different kind of things like paganism or nature. So why this approach this time?
You know, on this new album, you may find a lot of references to pagan world, to Slavic world as well, Slavic mythology. All right. Iphigenia is an exception here. Actually, it has been used as a story about conflict, about war, about what's going on in the background of it. You know, but there are still a lot of references to the Slavonic mythologies and Slavonic world on the album. So this hasn't changed much, I would say. So it is still being continued on this album. But in the case of Iphigenia, I started working with a female vocalist from Poland. Her name is Eliza Sacharczuk, and at one point, Eliza told me that she could speak Greek actually, because she spent some years living in Greece, Athens, and I thought to myself that we would explore this, and use this opportunity for her to sing in Greek actually. So I selected some fragments from Greek classic literature, and she sang them beautifully in Greek, and that's why you may have this impression that there is a lot of Greek mythology or a lot of Greek accents, but it is actually just the story of Iphigenia and some accents, let's say Greek accents, when it comes to the vocal lines made by Eliza on this album, which are actually great, because I think that her voice contrasts with mine in a very interesting way. I was actually looking for a vocalist, female vocalist especially, with this type of voice, that we could find an interesting contrast between my vocal and her vocal, and Eliza was a great choice. She really has this fantastic vibe in her voice, and she can also sing different things, like from folk music, from complete folk to, I would say, classic singing. So her range of styles is great, so it's like so it was a great range of choice for me as well while working with her on those songs, and yeah, it was easy collaboration also because she happens to be my friend's wife, and we've known each other for some time, so this was a great occasion to actually go to the studio, and first we did some pre-recording, and it was very promising since the very beginning, and then we landed in the studio and we made this record together.
Yeah, indeed, she did a great job on the album. As far as I know, she also collaborated with Patriarch on their album.
She did, yeah, she did. But as I said, it's a different style of singing,
yes.
Because on the Patriarch's album, there's definitely a lot of folk music, and folk music, you can also say church kind of style,
Yeah.
And there she simply fit in perfectly, also because she's very familiar with the folk of the eastern part of Poland, or Belarusian folk, you can call it, so yeah.
And once again, you have worked with Daniel Rushevich. I hope I haven't misspelled his name. That made the artwork of the new album.
Yeah.
And since Erebos, you have worked with him.
Yeah, that's true. Daniel is a good friend of ours, first of all, and also we've collaborated with him many times on different album covers and layouts. And this time, the idea was to make a painting or a picture of a king that is not a triumphant monarch, like a triumphant king at that point, but but a figure that has been through a lot of struggle and a lot of ordeal, you know, and is kind of it's like a tragic figure more than a triumphant one, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's visible on the cover if you look at it.
Exactly, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of suffering in his face as well, you know. So the last attribute of power that he is clinging to is his crown, and it's like a you know, monarch that is like standing in front of a precipice, and it's his last moments, but still he has quite a lot of dignity in this dramatic moment, you know. So that was the idea, and Daniel, I think, executed this perfectly, and the album cover is amazing. I like it very much, and also the idea, or deeper idea, or the meaning of it would be that power comes with a price. That the price to pay for the struggle for power is very often very big one. You know, it's the highest price you can say that, and it's not just on a personal level of those who compete for power, but also the price is simply in blood, in human lives, you know, and all of it. So this is about war, and this is about actually the price of war, and or price of conflict in general.
Exactly. So when did you realize that Hate has evolved and grown as a band? Is there any particular album that you said, well, with this one we got on the top?
Well, it's a hard question, because, you know, all this creativity that we do, that is actually our main choice in life, I would say, is like a journey. It's more like a journey, okay? Yeah. So there are different points on this journey, and generally speaking, we truly believe in what we do, you know, and we push things for. We have been pushing things forward for many years now. But there have been some points in which we, or at least me, I could see the progress in our career, like, you know, going definitely up from the album Erebos in 2010, then Solar Flash 2013, and next, I think, meaningful album was Ori Gates of Veles 2019, that we have really made a big progress, because we signed a contract with Metal Blade Records at that point, and we opened new doors, you know, and new possibilities have been opened for the band, and we're continuing with it, and I'm pretty sure that this album, so this year and next year, will be very intense for us, and we'll be touring a lot in support of this new record. And by the way, the first reaction to the record have been amazing for the last few weeks. You know, I have seen a lot of great reviews of the new record, and we have also got quite a lot of interesting offers, you know, for the last weeks. So we're going to definitely push things forward from now on.
Yeah, I've seen some of the fans' reactions as well on social media, and some of them said that you actually got a bit to the roots of Erebos album sound-wise, and probably that's why they like this album very much.
Yeah, I would agree to that. I mean, there is a lot of Erebos know-how on this album. You know, this type of riffing, this type of arrangements as well. And what is new about this record is that it was the first time in our career that we decided to make a record outside of Poland, in another studio in another country, working with a music producer. His name is David Castillo, by the way. He's a renowned music producer from Sweden. So we came to Stockholm Grondal studio, which is David's studio. Okay, and we started recording the album there, and most of the production was done there. Some of the recording were done in Poland later, and then we landed in Stockholm again to do the mixes and mastering. Okay, so David was actually supervising the whole process, and he was kind of responsible for the whole album production, and it came out fantastically. I'm very proud and happy about it.
Yeah, and if we get back to what I asked you earlier about hate, evolution, and growth, also after Pavlon's departed from the band, you got Narsil on drums and then Kiermes on bass. So basically, hate is a new rise. With this.
Yes, that's true. It's a new lineup, and this lineup has already recorded 2 albums.
Yes.
Which is Rugia and now Bellum Regiis, and it's as with every lineup, it's like a new phenomenon. You know, it's a new energy, like new vibration or synergy, you can call it. You know, between some people who have the common purpose, you know, and work together. And definitely we are, with this new record, I'm sure that we are more effective, you know, and we kind of learned how to work with each other better and better. And Rugia was the first step, and this then Bellum Regiis is the next step. And I think we pushed things on another level this time.
Yeah, and next year will actually mark 30 years since Hate's debut album. So if you think 30 years, wow. Have you thought about, I don't know, doing a live album to celebrate your Hate's career?
Yeah, we've been talking about this, even also with the label, you know, and there are some ideas how to celebrate this. There are some ideas what kind of special anniversary release would it be, you know, and we'll definitely come up with something. We'll definitely release something special next year. I don't know what kind of form it will take, you know, yet, because there are a few different ideas. But yes, you're right, and it would really make sense to make a special release for this special anniversary. Yeah.
Unfortunately, on March you couldn't embark on the US tour with Belphegor and Artur due to visa issues, and it looks like more European bands will have this problem because of the high prices. So how do you think this will be going on?
Okay, it's not just about the price. The prices of the visa petition, because that's what we are talking about, have been very high for a long time. Okay, we have always paid this, and it also we also did this time. I mean, you pay $6,000 plus, and you have no guarantee that you actually get visa. So first of all, you have to pay this money to some, let's say, lawyer's office in America that represents you. Okay, that's how it looks. Then you gather a lot of documents, and you simply make an application like that. But then you get to know that, oh, your application is not enough. You should be delivering this document, that document. You know, quite a big list of different, very often stupid, you know, requests, stupid documents. It is just to make you discouraged. You know, they're trying to discourage you to come to America this time. It's a complete change in the immigration policy, I would say. It's under a new administration, Donald Trump's administration, definitely. And a lot of bands have the same problem. I mean, a lot of bands are struggling with this, and some even give up and say, okay, fuck you, we are not going to America anymore, okay, or something like that. We are not one of those, you know. We are still, we are making the second application. We have gathered all those recommendations and documents that they requested, So we are now making a second application, working with this lawyer's office in America, of course, because you have to have somebody to represent you in America like this, you know. And we will see if we get the working visas. We will be able to make maybe 2 tours in America, you know, supporting this new record. And this is our ambition. This is our goal here, you know. We just want to go, and we simply don't want to disappoint the American fans, because there are lots of people waiting for us to come. And there was a great, you know, disappointment when we announced that we're not going to take part in this Belphegor tour that you mentioned. So, and we really don't like situations like that. I mean, it's very uncomfortable for us as well. So we want to fix it somehow and, you know, come to America, if not this year, maybe beginning of next year, and play a full-fledged tour in support of this new record.
Yeah. You mentioned $6,000.
$6,000 plus, yeah. Six and a half, I think, something like that. Yeah.
For the entire band or for one member?
Yeah, it's for the petition, which is the basic document that you have to apply for, and it is just the beginning of the process, you know. And as I said, there is no guarantee. They have to pay this money, and they don't guarantee that you will ever get the working visas, you know. So yeah, I think it's very unfair. Generally speaking, very unfair, but it is especially unfair towards the bands that have toured America so many times as we did, you know. And each time we got the working visas without any problem, okay? And we have very good record of visits in America. Clear record, I would say, okay? Without any problems whatsoever. So treating bands like our in this way is simply unfair and unjust.
And frustrating to a point.
It's frustrating to some point as well, yeah.
Yeah, but you will embark on October on a Latin America tour with Ultimas.
Yeah, that's true. This has been announced and confirmed, and we'll be visiting, I think, 6 countries in Latin America, together with Mexico at the end of the tour, and yes, and we are talking about some other tours already, you know. So we'll definitely be very active in support of this new record.
And summer festivals, I suppose.
As well. However, with our release is kind of late for the summer festivals, let's say, because they have already been booked, all of them, you know.
Yeah.
But still, we have some offers, and I'm sure we will definitely make use of them.
Yeah. To end this interview, is there anything else that you would like to add?
Well, anything specific, I would say observe our social media, because there is a lot to come, I think, this year and next year. As I say, we're going to be very active concert-wise, and we'll probably make more videos as well in connection with this new album. And yeah, I think it's a great new chapter that is opening up for us at this moment. So yeah, yeah. So thank you, Carla, for this interview. It's
likewise.
It's a pleasure every time, you know, and I hope we'll be visiting Romania more often in the future.
I hope so too. Thank you, Adam, again, and see you later on stage.
Thanks a lot. Goodbye.